Yo, what is up, everybody? It is Jay the Great, and welcome back to another reaction video here today. And yes, we got another Swagkage Naruto reaction video. We have Minato Namikaze versus Itachi Uchiha. So on one side, we have one of the quickest, most legendary shinobi of all time in the Naruto universe, Minato, the yellow flash of the hidden leaf. On the other side, we got one of the strongest Uchihas that ever lived, Itachi Uchiha with that Tsukuyomi. That's lit. But I'm really excited for this one, man. Like I said, Swagkage is one of the most knowledgeable people on YouTube when it comes to this stuff. So I love watching what he has to say and how he breaks down these matchups. This is a good one. I love Minato and I love Itachi. Those two of my favorite characters. But before we begin, if you enjoy, think about showing some love. Any love is really appreciated. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications. And if you're new and you enjoy, if this is your first time on one of these videos with me, rocking with us, think about hitting that sub button, man, because once you do, you're part of the family forever. Let's not waste any more time. Screen. Let's see what Swag has to say.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here.
What's going on?
Today's video where I have my good friend Seth, the programmer, here to talk to me.
All right, we got both of them on.
Minato versus Itachi, as you can see in the title. So, Seth, go ahead and give me your opening thoughts. Who do you think would win?
So, is this going to be sick or healthy?
Well, okay, so we're gonna be doing like
various that is important
forms versus
to a certain degree.
Various forms. So, like, we're gonna talk about like alive Minato versus alive Itachi, Edo Minato versus Edo Itachi, and then like prime alive Minato with QB versus prime alive Itachi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, me and you discussed
good matchups
before we started, recording. But Itachi versus Minato has a lot of factors to it. It depends. How aggressive is Minato?
It really does depend on
True.
the guy's bloodlusted or whatever. Like like there's so many factors that could change how this fight goes down. Like if they start really close to each other, for example, Itachi would probably genjutsu Minato immediately. First of all, let me just go ahead and clarify what we're gonna do. Which one do you want to talk about first? KCM versus Edo Itachi, or like just alive Minato versus alive Itachi? Because we're not even gonna talk about sick Itachi. He'd probably get fucked by Minato.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think what we should do is we should probably talk about KCM first, because that's more.
This is a more direct outcome.
It's more direct, and then at the end we can talk about what would happen with them both, like in their normal states. So this is going to be reanimated versus reanimated, pretty much.
Yeah, and I guess then we can also move on to alive versus like a hypothetical alive Minato with KCM.
Good. Breaking down every scenario of every form of each character. Well done.
Again, the results won't be too different. So you've got Edo Itachi, who has a huge buff. He's way stronger than he was when he was alive because he has infinite Mangekyo Sharingan use. It's almost like he has an EMS.
Right.
He's not sick. He doesn't have the stamina issues. He has like infinite stamina. I mean, like you eliminate pretty much every weakness that Minato could exploit when you make him Edo Tensei, right? Exactly. But at the same time, Edo Minato, I mean, like he has no limit on the amount of chakra that he can use to teleport, to create shadow clones, and then he also has all of that extra power from the 9 tails that he can use to enter KCM. And I mean, KCM Minato is capable of some pretty ridiculous stuff. So
yeah,
it took KCM 1 Naruto going like straight full power, like just fully amping himself, powering up to his absolute maximum to outspeed the 4th Raikage, right? Yep. And that was again while in KCM 1, and everyone was surprised that he was able to do it. Meanwhile, Minato was able to do the same shit like casually in base form. Yep. So if you give him KCM, it's like stacking KCM on top of an even faster KCM for Naruto. Like if it's like if KCM Naruto went KCM, it would be like ridiculous. That's how fast he is.
Like KCM 2, basically, right?
Fast because of Flying Raijin.
To a certain extent.
Also use body flicker really well, which is what made Shisui so fast, Raikage so fast, so on and so forth. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
What I was going to say is that the main speed that Minato has is more so reaction time. I believe that it's mostly reaction time along with teleportation. But that's all you really need is the reaction time if you're just teleporting anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think like he's necessarily running away as fast as KCM Naruto, but I do think he has the reaction time and the ability to dodge better than KCM Naruto.
I mean, well then when you stack like the KCM speed
buff,
buff,
of course it's completely
because base Naruto isn't one of the fastest characters in the series.
Like, he's not.
Base Naruto pre-QB amp, this is like Rasen Shuriken Naruto, so he's not that fast. And then given KCM, he's like Raikage speed. So you give Minato that same speed buff and then his already godly reaction speed and teleportation is gonna be pretty hard for Itachi to do anything about.
Yeah, I agree.
In fact, it'd be like almost squaring his speed, because not only was he already like KCM in just base, he'd be having like an amped KCM, because he'd have the whole like cloak and cape bullshit. It'd be beyond squaring his speed, which is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then here, Itachi, when he fought KCM Naruto, Naruto was completely fatigued. He just shot out thousands of clones across the battlefield. He was so weak that right after his fight with Itachi and Nagato, he was about to pass out, and Itachi's like, chill, dude, you're taking it a little too far. You can't do everything by yourself. And Itachi takes on this heavily fatigued KCM Naruto, maybe not heavily, but fatigued KCM Naruto, and they're somewhat just rivaling each other in speed. And this Naruto, when he was at full power, just got the form pretty much, and amped himself to his maximum, was able to blitz the Raikage. He wasn't able to do it casually.
Yeah.
Minato, and this was, of course, after beating... No, this was before beating the third Raikage with, like, I guess, like...
a shadow clone.
With a shadow clone, but that wasn't due to speed. I know people are gonna, like, bring that up. Like, well, Sage Naruto did beat the third Raikage, but, well, that was a nerfed...
That was a weakened... They were both weakened.
Yeah, and on top of that, Sage Mode does amp reaction time a lot, and that's all Naruto needed to beat that Raikage.
It was like a sense of precognition percent.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like what the Sharingan gives a person almost, except like, you know, it's like taken to an extreme degree. Then like KCM Naruto, you know, like was actually able to outrun the Raikage. Like he was like completely on the other side. He didn't just like move his body a little bit and like shove a Rasengan into him. It was a much different feat. So you know, I don't want people saying like, well, that KCM Naruto is actually just as fast as me. No, he's not. Minato is much faster than this Itachi. Well, to be fair, Itachi didn't seem to be struggling against Naruto, but I don't think he was outspeeding him. So
pretty even, I'd say. Yeah,
faster.
Yeah, no. It's just, you have basically, even if you wanked Itachi to be the same speed as Minato, and then you gave Minato the cloak,
it wouldn't matter either way, right? Yeah,
what kind of retarded wank is this?
No, I meant
is Minato.
I meant base. I meant base to base. It's still wank completely. I don't mean QB cloak. With QB cloak,
no, even then, it's just like Minato is known as the Yellow Flash. I just want to know who's doing this.
It's just like, even if you wanked Itachi to Minato's speed and reaction times, with the QB cloak, it's basically like squaring his speed, like I said before, if not more. And Minato,
I agree.
On top of having the superior speed, has equal to possibly greater fighting technique. I mean, he's more experienced.
He has a whole bunch of ninjutsu that he's capable of using. Itachi's arsenal isn't that versatile, at least not when he's not Edo. So I guess since this is like Edo versus Edo, it's different because he can spam Amaterasu and use Tsukuyomi a whole lot.
That is true.
Susanoo stuff. But aside from that, he has like shadow clones, genjutsu, and fire. At least that's really about all that we've seen him do. Meanwhile, Minato has like, teleportation is really, I think, underappreciated. It's like a really powerful ability, especially when he can use it endlessly, and especially when combined with the shadow clones. Okay, like reanimated Minato teleported a like Jubi Biju bomb. All right, like it's
all right. First point that I want to make here. So it's clear as day. Minato in base form is about as fast as KCM1 Naruto, right? So I think they made a good, you know, they gave good reasons for why that's the case. I agree. Itachi, give or take, is around the same speed as KCM1 Naruto. But when you give Minato base form KCM, like Seth said, it exponentially increases his speed. So I think Minato will win that battle because I think he'd be so much faster that I think his reaction time would be so much quicker than Itachi's that he wouldn't be able to catch him in a genjutsu. I think he'd be so much quicker. And he could spam endless teleportation jutsus. You know, he just spam it, be wherever he wants, as many times as he wants. Amaterasu, you know, Itachi could spam that, right? And he has endless chakra. But Minato so much quicker, he would just evade all of it, I think. He'd evade all of it. And although they can't die, I think you can destroy an Edo Tensei. I think Minato would probably catch him with something, with you know, a few Rasengans, because he's so much quicker. I think his reaction time and everything is amplified. You know, his fighting speed, everything is amplified exponentially, like Seth said. So I think, Itachi, he'd have to figure out how to get close to Itachi, because Itachi would probably like surround himself with Amaterasu and, try to catch him in Tsukuyomi. I think if he does catch him in Tsukuyomi, Minato's gonna have some issues. If he does have Kyuubi, I think that means he does have the Nine Tail in him. So I think that might break him out. But actually, no, I'm wrong. I believe in the Tsukuyomi, it's so quick. It's a picogram, right? Like Seth said in a previous video. Not even the Nine Tails kid snap you out of it, because it's so instantaneous. It's beyond instantaneous. It's beyond human, comprehension. That's how quick it is. But yeah, I think Minato would be just too quick for Itachi to really catch Minato. At least it'd make it highly, highly improbable. Could Itachi win? Yes, but I think it's highly, highly improbable that he could defeat Minato in that state. Edo Tensei Kyuubi. But let's continue.
That's fucking that should tell you all you need to know about how good this guy is with the Flying Thunder God.
Yeah,
it's crazy. He and Tobirama can switch places using it. Actually, it's crazy. So he knows what he's doing, and you give him infinite chakra. Like what? You just can't
good luck.
Stop him. The only thing I can see Itachi doing to counter Minato's FTG is using Amaterasu on like the locations of the seals that Minato places.
That's a good idea.
Which would actually be a really smart counter. That way,
I didn't even think of that.
Cannot teleport there. Well, the thing is, though, Itachi would have to look and shoot Amaterasu, and I know Amaterasu moves fast, but not as fast as the Raikage, who Minato is much faster than.
Yeah.
So if Itachi were to do that, Minato. Yeah, exactly. So if Itachi were to do that, he wouldn't be able to do it before Minato could catch him slipping in the split second he needed to attack him from behind.
Exactly.
Also, keep in mind, Minato is capable of teleporting, attacking, and teleporting all in the same instant at once. So his strike speed is similar to his teleportation speed.
Yeah.
At that point, yes.
So it wouldn't take very long for him to teleport behind Itachi and just right in the back. If Itachi does decide to go the Amaterasu route, but if Itachi's surrounded by his Susanoo, it'll probably be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
For Minato to get through that, even with KCM. It's very complicated. There are so many factors here because it's could Itachi get away with the Amaterasu?
I forgot about the Susanoo. That's right.
Does
that also?
And for that matter, you were talking about this earlier to me, and go ahead and mention do we have any idea whether or not Minato could actually get through Itachi's Susanoo with Flying Thunder God if he places the seal before it's manifested?
Well, before I get into that,
I think it's possible.
I'm just gonna pull my pants out. I'm whipping it out. Okay, I'm gonna be dead ass honest. I think versus KCM Minato that Itachi has nothing on him. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be straight up.
I agree.
Let me explain though. For one, you mentioned this before, that he can Amaterasu the seals. That's true. However, in KCM, he doesn't even need seals. He's just completely superior to Itachi in speed.
Yeah.
He has the power of basically a perfect Susanoo with the full Bijou.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that KCM Minato can manifest the full Kurama avatar.
Yep. True.
With Naruto to form a big fucking Rasengan.
Exactly.
Okay.
And on top of that, they have about equal skills, so Itachi's not pulling some Batman plot armor shit. They both have the same kind of mentality.
Yeah, they're both geniuses.
And
top two in the academy for the tests, right? And the tuning exams, I believe.
To be honest with you, I know you were just saying this,
smartest guys.
I don't think Amaterasu would work against KCM because he could probably glob it off. I mean,
we've
seen Naruto glob off
against Sasuke
before, so I mean, it's very possible.
That's right.
Did Naruto glob off the Amaterasu? I forget. Wasn't it off of the six paths stage mode?
Yeah.
No.
Thing?
It was just against the they were base versus base.
Yeah.
And Itachi
he
shot
created a part of the he created a part of the cloak, and he just got rid of Amaterasu that way. But I don't know if Minato has enough experience with the cloak to do that.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
Possible, but I think it's a possibility worth keeping in mind, but I don't think it's one worth writing Amaterasu off with. And I doubt Minato would teleport into the center of an Amaterasu placed directly on his seal, because you saw how big that shit can get in the fight between Itachi and Sasuke at the Uchiha hideout. But it is still a fair point.
Yeah. And then like I said, it's just completely blitz fucking him. And Genjutsu, Itachi's main arsenal of attack, would not work against KCM because this is Minato and Kurama who are now working together as friends. so Kurama would actually snap him out of it. And with Amaterasu, we've seen the Raikage can dodge it, so even base Minato could probably teleport out of the way of that shit, let alone KCM, who might not even need to use his flying Raijin. He'd probably just use it to wombo combo like some Storm 4 shit.
Exactly.
And it's just
like what the shit that he can pull off with his clones and flying Raijin in Storm 4 is like retarded, dude.
Like,
it is so crazy.
If Itachi does not activate his perfect Susanoo, I meant just Susanoo in general, my bad. And Itachi's not hitting him with the fucking Totsuka blade.
Nah, hell no, no way. I agree.
Like,
too slow.
With teleport and blitz. And he also has the power of a perfect Susanoo, so he could easily just body his Susanoo. There's no way Itachi can win. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. I don't want to be a Minato tard or anything. I'm gonna prove I'm not with this next set of battles of Itachi versus Minato. But when it comes to KCM, we need to realize that Itachi and Minato are more like rivals in base, not a Minato with a fucking 9 tails. All right.
Like, and Naruto with the same half of one nine. We went over this in our Naruto versus Hashirama video. That half of the 9 tails is no joke. And I don't think Minato ever fired a Biju Dama. But if he wanted to, I mean, like, what's Itachi gonna do? Like, Yada Mirror, he can Yada Mirror 1, and then he can have a clone use the same avatar, and then shove a massive Rasengan up the actual asshole of the Susanoo from behind.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there are just a lot of ways to counter it. And actually, he can teleport chakra entities, so I wonder if he created a seal on Itachi's back before the Susanoo was manifested. Maybe he couldn't teleport in there himself, but maybe if Itachi did use Amaterasu to try and shut down his ability to teleport, maybe he uses Flying Raijin to teleport some of Amaterasu's flames into the Susanoo and just like cook Itachi alive in there.
Because we know he can teleport chakra, like with the Biju.
He's teleported a 9 tails Bijudama in base and a 10
That's
tails
true.
pretty casually at in Edo Tensei base, not even in KCM.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, the Genjutsu, Amaterasu, Susanoo, these things can all be overpowered. Maybe not Amaterasu, like you argued. You argued that he might not be able to know how to glob it off. I can see that, but he would be able to blitz it for most part. And
again, he might be able to use it against Itachi by teleporting it.
Yeah, it's just KCM complete stomp. So I think we should.
Yeah, I agree.
Before people start calling me a Minato tard.
All right, just to give my final statements. Okay, so let's give the best case scenario for Itachi, right? Let's say he gets in a perfect in a Susanoo. He has a Totsuka blade out. You know, he has Amaterasu surrounding the location, like, you know, good distance. He has infinite chakra. I think even before he even was able to do all those things, I think, like I said earlier, Minato's so much quicker with QB mode. You know, with all these tools at his disposal, it would even work. I mean, he'd blitz him before Itachi can think. I mean, he's so much quicker now. You know, it's exponentially quicker. I think he could blitz him, like he said, and end it pretty quickly. You know, end it pretty quickly. He could blitz him many times, like boom, 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 like at once with Rasengans everywhere, just boom, boom, and just take him out. I think he stomps him. You know, it's very, very, very unlikely that Itachi can come out on top. It's almost damn near impossible. So I agree completely with these guys. It's a stomp. And I even forgot about the avatar, the Kurama avatar. He could summon that too. You know, and just body Itachi Susanoo and just destroy him, and maybe even blitz him with that. You know, it's a stomp. I agree.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get called a Minato tard because I'm like rooting for Minato in this fight, and I think he would decimate Itachi KCM. But in base, this is a different story. Like,
Itachi's my favorite character, by the way, but yeah, he gets stomped.
Because
and
now,
in that scenario,
tiny-ass Minato has to contend with the strongest armored Susanoo.
Yeah.
Which is Itachi's with the Yada Mirror and the Totsuka blade. You know, full deflection and instant one-shot weapon. You know, like, it's absolutely crazy. So, the only counter I see Minato actually having to the Susanoo that could like just hard counter it is the Reaper Death Seal, but in character he wouldn't pull that out to kill Itachi.
And here's another thing: is the Spirit Shield, Yada Mirror. It might be able to block some forms of the Reaper Death Seal because it does block on an astral level, and it does change its properties to completely negate whatever touches it. Now I don't know if it could fucking block the God of Death.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't like.
But it'd be able to dodge.
It's possible,
Imagine,
but we
like,
don't
the
know, right?
Grim Reaper tries to come claim Itachi's soul, and he just gotta mirrors it.
That probably wouldn't happen. But the most of the advances that activate the Reaper Death Seal would be hard.
Yeah.
He also doesn't really have the power to just blatantly. I mean, if he used Sage Mode, we've seen Sage Mode is able to dominate.
That's the other thing. Before we get into Sage Mode, keep talking about you know.
Okay. So in base, Minato doesn't really have a lot of jutsu that can overpower it. I mean,
absolutely.
Itachi's
like at
not.
best, he's got Rasengan against a Susanoo. Like really?
No,
really?
I ain't doing shit.
Doing much, and it's like there's just the Totsuka Blade's not going to seal Minato. Obviously, it's just the speed advantage is completely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's not gonna catch him with that.
Like, what could he do to get through it? And since this is Prime Itachi,
he has
not
a lot more stamina.
Itachi, he has a lot more stamina, and he might be able to catch Minato slipping, especially if he uses Shadow Clones. That's a move outside of the Susanoo. You know, it might be crazy because one thing a lot of people need to keep in mind: we've never, ever seen healthy Itachi fighting at full power. And as a matter of fact,
I even didn't try versus Kabuto because he
didn't even try against Kabuto. The only person he tried all out against was Nagato, and he fucking
he obliterated it.
Really fondled him, dude. Yeah. Like he figured out how to stop Chibaku Tensei in seconds,
and then
just instantly sealed him. It was kind of pathetic.
Like, you have to imagine this. I mean, Itachi and Sasuke, like they stabbed. By the time they stabbed Kabuto that one time, if that was Itachi going all out and he stabbed him one time, it would have been sealed right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you honestly need to think about that. I mean, Itachi wasn't trying to kill Kabuto.
Yeah, he had to. Tensei. Yeah.
Yeah. So he couldn't go all out. That's something people need to know. Now, in the terms of Minato versus Itachi, I think Minato has a speed advantage, although not by an insane amount anymore, like with KCM. So
it's closer, much closer in terms of speed.
Character because he's a sweetie pie, and he'd probably gesture.
I don't know.
At
he was trying pretty hard to kill Obito.
True, although Obito wasn't like his old comrade.
Also, he's definitely a savage. He killed a lot of people in the Third War.
That's true.
But I don't know if he would know, like, if he would have insider information about Itachi if he was still alive.
Yeah.
So that might be it. But assuming they're fighting to kill, this, he would probably go straight. Now, assuming they're like fighting to kill in character, he would go straight for the kill. But if this was bloodlusted, this would be so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they would both just be pulling shit off, like not even stopping to think. It would almost be like on instinct.
Yeah, like if it was bloodlusted, it'd be completely different because bloodlusted Itachi would probably instantly go for Susanoo. I'm gonna be honest, like because he's fucking angry. I mean, bloodlusted, he's probably gonna get a power.
Like imagine, like Minato just killed Sasuke.
Yeah,
right. And like just fucked like all the open wounds right in front of Itachi.
Oh god.
But the thing is that Minato has a speed advantage heavily. And if he could possibly blitz Itachi, like because if he's bloodlust, he's just instantly going for the kill. So he could. It might be like some Obito shit where he just like teleported in front of him, just slit his fucking throat, kind of shit. Like it'd be similar to that, except with maybe like kunai and shit.
Well, Itachi's able to create shadow clones pretty fast. I think if he was bloodlusted, he would respond the same way. It's just like it's really crazy, but I think for the sake of keeping this as simple as possible, let's just talk about in character because I don't fucking know how bloodlusted would go.
That changes things.
Clusterfuck.
Less strategy,
anyone would be able to
more blunt force,
fighting on like a higher level of consciousness, dude. So,
what's your take on it? Like,
I honestly don't know who would win bloodlusted, like prime these two, but like I think
that's tough.
I'm going with like a slight edge for Minato at like prime alive because like not bloodlusted because like sage mode, right? It really depends on if he can summon because he can summon the massive like toad. He can summon Gamabunta.
Right.
So I don't know if he can summon Ma and Pa, the same toads that Jiraiya used when he used Sage Mode. But if he can, when Minato enters Sage Mode, and if he can summon them, he could definitely catch Itachi in an auditory Genjutsu. And the thing about this is...
Omnidirectional,
The biggest thing is in Sage Mode, and I know people are going to be like... but...
Accurate.
He's a perfect Sage.
We saw that in Edo Tensei. We saw that.
Sage mode than Jiraiya, who like sort of turns into a frog because he can't really do it.
Yep.
And it took him no time to gather the natural energy he needed. Like, he just closed his eyes, opened them, suddenly he was a sage. Even Naruto had to leave shadow clones behind at Mount Miyaboku. So, I don't know why Minato thinks...
You might be better than Naruto at it.
Maybe Jiraiya got jealous and he was like...
Like, I'm better.
But, yeah, so, like, Minato's really good at Sage Mode. And with that in mind, Kabuto was completely immune to all of Itachi's Genjutsu, because he was able to turn off his eyesight and his hearing and still sense his surroundings with ease. And I don't know if Minato would actually just be able to cut off his vision with his eyes still open, or his hearing, but he could definitely close his eyes
and still fight.
Itachi doesn't have any auditory Genjutsu, so
Well, with Sage Mode, what you need to realize is that Sage Naruto, his power was honestly insane. It was at least 5-tailed version 2 QB level. I've done seals on that before. At least 5-tailed version 2. Yeah. And when he uses shadow clones, he's able to barrage the actual 9-tails and even make him flinch. Yeah, now, I don't see Minato making like thousands of clones and barraging Itachi. Obviously, that's Naruto's kind of style.
Yeah, he doesn't have that ability.
In power, I do think it's actually significant enough level to actually now start damaging the Susanoo and breaking through it. And
not the Yanamir though.
Not the Yanamir. But the thing with Minato is that he has such good mobility. He has so many ways to get around it. The Yanamir is only the front of Itachi's body.
Yeah, it's omnidirectional.
An actual shield. There's so many ways to teleport around it and etc. There's so many ways to just plant seals around the arena or whatever they're doing, and so many ways to get like a massive Rasengan into the Susanoo and possibly start damaging it.
Yeah.
And this will start draining Itachi's chakra. And Itachi's just not Totsuka blading or Amaterasuing even base Minato, to be honest. I mean, he might be able to Amaterasu with that.
He won't catch him.
Seal plan that you referred to. Although that could possibly backfire. Although in terms of speed, it's just Minato's just too quick, and with Sage Mode, he's just too powerful.
The best thing that Itachi has that might actually give him the win is if he can catch Minato with like a finger Genjutsu or something before Minato realizes how good Itachi is at using Genjutsu. He doesn't even the thing is, Minato will notice if it's like a really big large scale Genjutsu like Tsukuyomi. And I'm not saying he could break out of Tsukuyomi. I don't think he would get hit by it, but the thing is, Sasuke in his fight with Danzo showed something that pretty much nobody has. As a matter of fact, he did it to Deidara as well, and it's that you can place people under Genjutsu so subtle that they don't even notice. Like when Danzo thought his Sharingan eye was still open on his arm, he wouldn't have even thought twice about that because he was so focused on trying to take care of Sasuke Susanoo. And
Itachi is probably the best Genjutsu user we have all time. Obviously, he's super smart, super subtle with his Genjutsus.
Of the Flying Thunder God with Amaterasu, and keep Minato under the impression that nothing is there. So when he teleports, he ends up lighting himself on fire and GG. And that's a really solid possibility, but it really depends on Minato's knowledge of Itachi's Genjutsu abilities. Because, I mean, it wasn't, like, widespread how, like, great a Genjutsu this guy was. I've made fun of Kurenai for this in the past, and she tried to use Genjutsu on Itachi. So, obviously, like, you know, the average person doesn't know about it. But maybe Minato will know how good Itachi is at this stuff. Like, I'm not sure. If he goes in without knowledge, he could very easily just get, like, Genjutsu Amaterasu molested.
Yeah.
Very possible.
If he does go in with knowledge, you know, he can do what Kabuto did and use Sage Mode. And best case scenario for Minato is he's able to summon Ma and Pa and catch Itachi in that one Genjutsu, and then it's like over.
Really, all Itachi has to guarantee somewhat of a victory would be Kodo Amatsukami.
Oh yeah, he could summon the crow, and
or Izanami.
If he Izanami's Minato, man, like I just don't know if he'd be able to hit him enough times, because the thing about Izanami is you have to cause a loop, right? You have to hit somebody in the exact same way twice. And Minato's way too fucking fast, man. Just like, no.
And Minato likes to be unpredictable as well. Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think Izanami's an option for him here.
Yeah. And
It'd be very, very difficult.
Mode, he would
Yeah.
easily be able to tell that he's under Genjutsu.
Exactly.
Because he can sense all chakra and things around him. And this
Yeah,
is
so
also...
if he saw an Amaterasu and there was no actual Amaterasu there, like, he would know. Well, yeah, I mean, even Karin can, like, sense whether somebody's chakra is disrupted, so she knows when people are under Genjutsu. So actually, I think if Minato activates Sage Mode, yeah, he's probably completely immune to Genjutsu. Like, even if he doesn't blind himself.
Yeah.
But like, but he probably just blind himself to keep himself immune to Tsukuyomi. You know,
Yeah.
like, at worst.
So and then if he has Ma and Pa, there's just no way that
Yeah.
he's getting Genjutsu, because they'd just slap the fuck out of him. So,
But I mean, Itachi does have his exploding shadow clones, which are like really versatile, and he could probably like bait Minato with a bunch of exploding clones into getting hit by like the Totsuka blade. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
but
tough. That's tough.
really tough.
yeah,
I have a hard time seeing Itachi win. The only thing about Minato is he doesn't have enough offensive power to pierce the Yata mirror.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, but I don't think he really necessarily has to. I think, like I said before, that he can move around it. I mean,
Yeah.
you need to remember that Minato's the guy that was so powerful.
All right, I gotta make this point. I agree with him pretty much with everything, but we gotta come back to the fact that, like they said, we have never seen Itachi fight in his prime. Really try. We saw him try against Nagato and Edo Tensei, and he bodied the guy. I mean, quickly sealed his ass like that. And yeah, he had intel on Nagato and all those things, right? He's probably seen what Nagato's capable of. Let's give the best case scenario for Itachi, right? Let's say he's better than we thought, right? Let's say he's better than we thought. Let's say he's stronger than we thought. Let's say he's even smarter than we thought when he's trying to kill, like he's on it, you know. I think there's a chance that he could beat Minato. I still think overall Minato will probably win. More times than not. But Itachi, let's say, I think the best case scenario we'd have to say Minato doesn't have intel on Itachi as well. I think that'd be the best case scenario for him. They probably could point that he puts Minato in a very subtle genjutsu and puts Amaterasu on his seals, you know, and it's so subtle that when Minato tries to teleport, he gets set on fire. That's a game. It's over. Also, like they said, the finger genjutsu. That's a good one. But now, if we're making making it more even, if Minato has intel, then it's a lot harder, right? Itachi would have to kind of catch him slipping, which is hard, given how fast Minato is. Even in base, you know, he's pretty fast. He's faster than Itachi, we could safely say. Definitely. So the Totsuka blade is kind of out of the question. He'd have to do some crazy strategy. Maybe put him in quite a genjutsu, which would already be hard enough because I'm sure Minato would go into Sage Mode. And just to be safe, would probably shut his vision to avoid genjutsu. So that's going to be very difficult. Itachi would, I don't know, he'd have to do something pretty strategically, pretty strategic to catch Minato in that case. In that case, I see him losing all in all. He probably loses it to Minato. Minato's going to not only be, faster, but strong, quite a bit stronger than Itachi with Sage Mode. Maybe even strong enough to break the Susanoo, to at least crack it. Not the Totsuka blade. I mean, the shield that he has, the Yatamir. But I think if he can be quick enough to get behind the Susanoo and give it a good Rasengan or a good solid punch, I think he might crack it or even break it. And then Itachi's in a tough spot, given that he can't catch him in the Genjutsu because his eyes are shut, and given that he's slower. He does have the Shadow Clone, the exploding Shadow Clones, like they said. He could possibly use that. But yeah, in the best case scenario, Itachi could win. He could win. I think they're downplaying Itachi just a little. Like I said, and like they said, we haven't seen Itachi at his best, really. Against Nagato was him trying, and we saw how dominant he was. So that's just a point I had to make. Let's continue, though.
Powerful. that in the pain filler they just fucking sealed him in a Chibaku Tensei so they didn't have to fight him. Like,
and yeah, that was a Chibaku Tensei inside of a second Chibaku Tensei.
Holy.
Just so they didn't have to fight him. Like Pain was that Pain, the strongest guy in the Akatsuki, who we did a video on, who's a rival to Itachi, was like, nah, get him out.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm not doing it.
So I mean, it's Sage Mode Minato, I think, takes it in my opinion. I think
I agree.
Base is pretty even. I think it just depends on, you know, how you control the fight and how you write it per se, or choreograph it.
Right.
Basically up to Kishimoto's in perception if he did that. There's like no really objective stance.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially QB Minato. That's just absolute.
Stomps. Yeah, he stomps.
Kind of murder rape.
Yeah, I agree.
It's complete stomp. Yeah.
But
base to base, like I said, it's pretty pitched. But Sage Minato takes it, in my opinion. Absolutely. And then KCM just get out of here.
Yeah, that's GG's, man. Good luck. Good luck.
I hate to sound like a Minato tard, but it's just like he kind of has it.
It's just
it's just the facts, man.
Me and Swag were literally talking about this for like an hour. We're like, damn, how is this fight gonna go? And like,
it was really complicated. We weren't sure, but I think Minato takes it both ways.
Yeah.
Now, if base Minato fights Edo Itachi, he gets fucking molested. It's
like, too much shock.
Yeah,
exactly.
Too much
but that's not fair. That's just like bullshit.
Definitely bullshit. So
all right. If you guys have any thoughts or any disagreements, make sure to leave why both of us are wrong in the comments below. Of course, you know, as always. Though if you do think that we're correct anybody who says we're wrong. Be a good commenter. You know, come to our defense.
I agree. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Seth. Seriously.
All right. That was a great video, man.
You know, nearing 150,000.
Hey.
It's pretty cool if you guys got him to 150K for me, and make sure you subscribe to me. I'm nearing that 200K mark.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And make sure you go check out our video where we talked about Naruto versus Hashirama.
Yeah.
You know, it was
that's another good one.
They're both pretty tough dudes.
Tough dudes.
Till next time, talk to you later.
It's another possible video I could do if you guys want it. Let me know. All right, there you guys have that one. Hell of a matchup. A really good video by Swagkage. By the way, shout out to him he's at over 1 million now. I think that was a while ago, but shout out to him. This matchup is something. Like they said, Minato takes those two scenarios they named. He beats the first one. He destroys, right? Him and they're both in Edo Tensei, and he has QB. He destroys. He's just too quick. He's too quick. And he has too many tools at his disposal. He has Kurama at his disposal, and he's astronomically faster, exponentially. I think the best thing that Itachi would be able to do is just keep that Susanoo up until he get caught slipping. He won't be able to really catch Minato because he's just too fast. He's too fast. Yeah, even with his best strategies, it wouldn't work. You have basically a better chance of winning the lottery in that scenario. So Edo Tensei QB mode, Minato bodies Edo Tensei Itachi. So that one's clean sweep in my opinion. 10 out of 10 times he wins. In the base form, it's a little more interesting. I kind of disagreed with it. I mean, I agreed that Minato takes it most of the time. In the best case scenario, he probably wins. Like let's say Minato has Sage mode, his eyes closed. He knows everything about Itachi. He probably wins 8 to 9 times out of 10. You know, if you make the playing field a little more equal, though, he'd only win, I'd say, 6 or 7 times out of 10. I think Itachi could win with the right strategies and the right plans in place. If Minato's in base form and he doesn't really know about Itachi, maybe he knows of him, and Itachi knows of Minato. Obviously, he'd be the Hokage, so obviously to know about him. Yeah, so I'm sure he'd be aware of Itachi's genjutsus. I don't think he'd be aware of how good he is at it. Depending, if in this scenario that I'm making up in this theoretical world. So I think it'd be possible that Itachi catches him. Maybe with a subtle genjutsu, the finger genjutsu, some subtle shadow clones that blow up and then boom, just enough time to get that Totsuka blade to seal Minato. That's less probable than the other ones I just mentioned. And then the best case scenario for Itachi, that he knows everything about Minato and Minato knows nothing about him. That's the best case. I think he'd win 5 to 6 out of 10 times. Like if they would fight 10 times, he'd win 5 or 6 of those out of those 10 times. Itachi. But yeah, guys, this was a great video. I really enjoyed it. It's really interesting. Like they said, it really depends on the writing. It would depend on Kishimoto how you want to approach this, you know. But I basically agree with just about everything they said. I really like both guys. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments. I want to say thank to all of y'all for the support on these. I know you guys mess with it, and I mess with y'all, man, so I keep doing them. And I love Naruto. I love y'all. So keep letting me know what you want to see, and I'll bring it to you. I got some special ones coming next week. But I love you all, and I'll catch you in the next reaction video. This is Jay signing out. Peace.